So this is going to be about why I started RenoRamp. You might have looked at the videos that I've posted, seen the old businesses that I've worked with, and you might have wondered why I even started this. So I've audited over 30 remodeling companies on this channel up till now. The pattern that keeps showing up isn't just going to be bad ads. It's great businesses with no predictable pipeline. And this video is why I built something specific to fix that for remodelers. And we basically just work with kitchen and bath, whole home remodeling companies, sometimes adjacent firms too. Uh, but this is essentially a process that is developed for that. Now, I'll give you some background too, right? Like RenoRamp itself is built to fix growth for remodelers, yes. The biggest thing is that we recognize predictable pipeline issues, right? It's about observing a lack of consistent client flow for even bigger firms, and that is when we made this too. So before RenoRamp 2, like I've spent about 3 years plus running paid ads from clinics across the states and Canada, even in the UK and Australia too. Hair loss clinics, high ticket healthcare. I learned what a properly built paid system actually looks at scale. It includes a good diverse mix of educational and conversion focused ads, speed to lead, qualification layers, attribution, creative testing, right? I understood what worked and what didn't across a lot of campaigns. And the fundamentals are something that we developed properly in our firm. We get the process. And that's like, this is just a little flow chart showing the experience, right? Like we run paid ads, we learn scalable systems, you get to identify effective strategies literally through real world results in different markets in the states that too, across different parts, different states. And we know what does not work. When I started looking at remodeling specifically, it was pretty obvious, right? Like the firms doing 2, 5, 10 million a year, beautiful showrooms, amazing work, full crews, multiple locations too, but a pipeline that wasn't predictable. Like the 1 month booked out, the next month slow. They had good referrals, good reviews, and you might be in this position too. But every agency just treated them like a generic home services account. The same targeting, same offer, same landing page template, just with like a different logo on it. And when the leads didn't close, obviously the issue is with the sales team, not the agency. When the pipeline dried up, it's whatever, like it's some other problem. It's essentially just lead vendors at scale instead of an actual partner who would help you grow. And even if you don't deal with the feast or famine type of situation, like like I just talked to a firm that is basically like fully like good at doing multiple seven figures with the commercial side, but their residential side has not been as healthy as they'd like, right? And the past agency was a creative agency. They did creative work, sure, but they weren't geared towards conversion. They weren't geared towards conversions while maintaining the brand value. And that is where the issue comes because there's a lack of accountability. And the system itself, the processes are not geared towards bringing in projects profitably, which is the biggest problem. Now, here's my selfish intent too. Like, I aim to work with established businesses doing real work at real scale, not startups, not 200K side hustles, not like single person firms, right? Because these are firms that have proven the model and they just need that predictable growth engine that I know how to make. That is why we're working with remodelers above the $1 million a year range specifically, because your work is already good, the brand is there, you guys have done a lot of the hard work, and what's missing is the actual infrastructure that we know how to install that would turn your reputation, your presence into a forward book pipeline. And that's the gap that I've seen a lot, and that's what I've decided to build around. uh, the whole idea here, right, is that we have a good business that where you actually can do decent amounts of sale, and we put in a proper growth engine. We are also incentivized to make sure that you bring in bookings profitably, and so it ends up being a pretty cool situation. Beyond which, we also have only one firm per metro. Like that's the structure. When we're in your market or fully in your market, we're committed to you and your success. We're not going to be working with someone down the street. And the metric that we care about the most is cost per acquired job, right? If you're doing a $40,000 kitchen remodel, we're not going to make you pay 10K for a job. Our goal is to make that as small as possible, yes, but make sure that we're within your range when it comes to the cost per acquisition. And everything is pointed towards jobs, not leads. Like that's the biggest difference. When we do optimize for cost per acquired job, right, the idea is that from the beginning itself, the way we research, the way we design our marketing efforts, the market that we focus is all geared towards that. Not to mention, like, this is an integrated strategy that will also maintain your brand value at top. It is not just about, oh, we converted like two people this month, after that nothing happens. Like, it's about a long-term process with your brand value also being increased as time goes. Everything I even put on this channel comes from what I see working, failing across your accounts, the audits, the frameworks. And if I was a remodeling firm trying to grow past where I was, I would give this away to. Um, I mean, I would want to give this in that situation, because most likely, if you're watching this, you have a business that's doing well, but you want to do better and you know what the problem is, right? This is essentially what I talk about and why I make content geared around that, because you can see that we do align ourselves in the right way. And when it comes to it too, right, like our ads have been on stagnant growth, audits and frameworks, numbers breakdown, growth and success. Now that is the honest version of why RenoRamp exists. This was just a short, simple video so that you get a bit of context of who I am, why you should even watch some of the content we have here. Now, if you do want a predictable pipeline, feel free to book a call below, and we'll look at where you're at, where you're trying to get to, and see whether it makes sense to work together. Thanks for watching.